course, it's always in the back of everyone's mind. You know, the Olympic Games, that's huge, you know. I do it for just because I love it and I want to be one of the best.
Artistic gymnastics champion Nastia Liukin was always destined for greatness. Her father, Valery, was an Olympic champion in the sport, and her mother, Anna, was a world champion rhythmic gymnast. Both competed for the former Soviet Union. Nastia was born in Moscow, but moved to the United States with her parents when she was young.
I think I was about 3 when we first moved to the U.S. from Russia, and both my mom and dad, they were coaches at a gym in New Orleans, and I was always in the gym with them just playing around, and I guess those are pretty much my first memories in gymnastics. And after that, you know, we moved to Texas, and they started to build a gym here.
Вот, и она целый день кувыркалась и игралась вместе с нами, и, в общем-то, когда мы начали замечать, что у нее лучше получается, чем у детей, которых мы тренируем. В общем-то, мы тогда начали задумываться на эту тему. Может быть, ее поставить в команду, в которой мы тренируем маленькую командочку с маленькими детишками. И, в общем-то, мы это сделали, и отсюда все пошло.
At 16, Nastia was spending most of her time at her parents' gym on the outskirts of Dallas. Having swept all before her on the junior stage, Nastia was recognized as a rising star of the gymnastics world, and it was being widely predicted that she would dominate the sport in the years to come. And she knew exactly what it was going to take.
A lot of hard work, you know, that's pretty much all. That's pretty much it, you know, a bunch of hard work and a lot of hours and repetition and turns put into it, and a lot of dedication, you know. Waking up at 7 o'clock every morning, it's to tell you the truth, it's not easy, you know, and especially those days where you just want to stay in bed, you know, and sleep in, but it's those days that you do wake up, and those are the days that you actually get better.
Настюша спортсмен самоотверженный, она очень хочет быть первой всегда. Наверное, от меня досталось ей это, вот, и мне никогда не было очень сложным, так сказать, заставить ее тренироваться много или не заставить. Я бы не сказал заставить, а внушить, что тренироваться нужно много.
I think my biggest strength being a gymnast is, obviously it's not my physical strength. I guess it's more my dance and my technique. We work a lot, me and my dad, we work a lot on technique, you know, just nailing those skills perfectly, trying to get them done as best as I can, because that's kind of where I think that I step apart from the other gymnasts, is my technique and my form. So I guess that's kind of where my strength is, and also just, we work a lot on dance too, and try to get my beam routines and my floor routines just really graceful and unique, you know. More of the other gymnasts, they do it's kind of a different style than I do. I know I do gymnastics for myself, and I want to be, you know, one of the best gymnasts in the world, and neither of my parents, they've never pushed me into gymnastics. You know, they kind of pushed me the opposite way when I was just little, just starting gymnastics. They knew how hard it was, and, you know, going through all the injuries. It's a really hard sport, and I know they kind of didn't want me to do it, but then, you know, again, when I started and they saw how much I love it, they just want the best for me, and they wanted me to do what I really love. So I don't feel pressure at all, because I know they're not putting pressure on me or pushing me to do it, you know, and I just think I do it for just because I love it and I want to be one of the best.
As part of her training program, Her dad encouraged her to deal with her aches and pains by going to visit an acupuncturist.
I guess I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years, and before me, my dad and my mom, they both did it, you know, back in Russia to help their little injuries. So I guess it just kind of carried over, you know, and they thought I should try it.
More pain in here, less pain in the gym.
I go pretty much once a week on a regular basis, and I think it helps a lot just for those little, you know, nagging injuries. Sit.
Nastya grew up as an only child. In March 2006, the Lukin family had just moved into a new house, and they'd also just bought 2 dogs, Lexi and Rex.
Come on, Lexi, come on. Go. We never really talk about gym at home. Sometimes, you know, we'll bring it up or we'll watch one of my competitions, but it's never like every day we come home and think about how that day went and what went wrong or what went right, what I did good. So really we just keep the gym at the gym, and just at home he's my dad.
Будучи мамой, то есть я намного больше рада за нее, когда у нее большие, хорошие успехи в школе или когда она выходит из каких-то трудных ситуаций в жизни и остается хорошим человеком. Конечно, медали — это замечательно и приятно видеть улыбку на лице своего ребенка, но, наверное, все-таки это не самая важная вещь.
Right now, there's other things more than the Olympics. You know, there's World Championships this year again and then the next year. So everyone always thinks about the Olympics, and I think about it too. I'm not gonna say I don't, but right now I'm just trying to think of one day at a time, one step at a time, and you know, the next few meets coming up, and then hopefully at the end of the year, Worlds again.
Ну, в общем-то, честно говоря, я не думаю, что Настя достигла чего-то огромного еще. Самые главные, так сказать, соревнования все впереди. Ну, конечно, Настина мечта – это попасть на Олимпийские игры. И мы, в общем-то, изо всех сил будем ее поддерживать.